Brown. Boy, he answered back.
I don't know how much more of this kind of punishment Blocker can take before he starts to really slow down. That's major punishment that Simon inflicted in that round.
What a round.
Don't give this man this fight. Don't give this man this fight, Simon. You get close. Keep digging, Simon. You got him. You the jab with your close shot. Don't be in a hurry. Head on shoulder, and drop the right hand and poke the body like we've been doing in the gym.
Gotta be in there.
Griffin wants toe-to-toe. Well, this is what he wants. This is what Emil Griffin wants. Stand there and trade with Blocker. Now watch the difference. Blocker, more punches. Simon, stronger punches. Hard to judge this toe-to-toe action, but it is brisk when two incredibly good welterweights are just laying it out.
Where's the mouthpiece?
I didn't take it out.
Where's the mouthpiece?
Here, I got it.
Round 5 scheduled for 12. Let's see if they can pick up where they left off that frenetic exchange in the 4th round.
Well, on my card unofficially, I have it dead even right now. Blocker taking those first 2 rounds boxing beautifully, and then Simon beginning to unload with the hard stuff and walking right through Blocker.
And neither seems to be the worse for wear despite the punishment they're dishing out.
I think the cumulative effect of punches has to be greater on Blocker, who is taking some very hard right hands and left hooks to the head by Simon Brown, who's a much harder puncher.
Oh, a right by Blocker that Brown walked right into, and Brown comes back with a left.
Whoa.
A wild miss by Brown.
Oh, these guys are going for a home run. They're trying to bat for home runs here.
Come on, get back. Here we go, come on.
Mills Lane with his work cut out.
Yeah, Simon wants to punch. Blocker, once he lands 3 or 4 shots, ties him up. And it's up to Mills Lane to come in here and get this action started again. You're seeing a lot of cute tricks of boxing here by Maurice Blocker. He's holding behind the head. He's spinning. He's giving him all kind of angles. Now, Simon Brown is giving him the laces, hitting on the break. Everything is happening in this fight. This is not friendly.
Brown looking to end it with 1 punch. Oh, what an uppercut by Brown. He almost ended it there, but Blocker stays on his feet.
I think that's the first sign I've seen of Blocker weakening. His legs did a number after that second uppercut.
But Blocker showing tremendous heart. Hang it in there. There is some blood around the eye of Blocker now. Another shot by Brown. A right cross.
I don't know how much more this Blocker can take. He's getting hammered. The mouthpiece of Maurice Blocker flew out with one of those uppercuts.
Brown looking to put an end to things here in the 5th round, but Blocker won't go down. And a right by Blocker that connected.
What a hard-on Blocker. He's fighting back as hard as he can.
He won't go down against his friend. Simon Brown. Now Mills Lane wants to get the mouthpiece back to Blocker.
Get in there, come on.
At a pause in the action, he gets that mouthpiece in. That's a good piece of work by Mills Lane, because the kind of hammering he's taking, he could lose some teeth.
Final seconds of round 5, and that'll do it.
Let's sit back. Sit back, man. What's your man take care of?
Take care of it.
You do all right. You do all right. Yeah, and it works. Okay. You do all right.
Stop. And you stepping straight back. You got to step up the side all the time. Never straight back. He's waiting for you. He's waiting. And when you step out, he throws that right hand. Stay over here. Go out low, or go out with your hands
The damage here was done by that hammering uppercut that Simon Brown threw. Look at that. Lifted his head right up. Another one lifted his head right up. That's enough to knock out anybody. Followed by hooks, and devastation is on the way. The face of Maurice Blocker showing it by a cut, and no question about it, Simon Brown has taken command.
Here we go, round 6, scheduled for 12 for the unification of the WBC and IBF welterweight championships. And it has been war between these two close friends, Brown and Blocker.
What you got to admire about Maurice Blocker, not only is he a fine fighter, but the heart on him. He got hammered enough to just hold or run, and he just stood there and traded with him, knowing the danger that that represented for him. He should have just grabbed him and held on, but boy, there's a lot of heat up here in this ring.
And there's probably nothing each one does not know about the other.
Well, right now, Blocker knows that Simon Brown can punch harder than he can.
I'm sure he knew that coming in, but able to withstand the pressure dished out by Brown.
Not much on the punches of Maurice Blocker. He's still throwing them, but there's no zip and no zing to it.
So let's see if Brown can capitalize. A wild miss by Brown. There's a left by Brown that tagged Blocker. Blocker showing tremendous courage.
That cut on the brow will be a factor by Blocker. It's well controlled. Oh, a nice hook right off the chin of Blocker. Simon Brown throws a hook with a devastation in mind.
There's a right by Maurice Blocker, the thin man with the spindly legs hanging tough against the much stronger Simon Brown.
The problem is that he lands the punches. They do nothing to dissuade Simon Brown from coming in with his hard series of punches. There's nothing on the punches of Maurice Blocker right now.
Come on, get him up, Timo, punch it.
Those inside punches by Blocker having no impact.
Simon seeming to have gone to sleep this round. He's not. Oh, that was a swinging fight punch, but it didn't land solidly. It was a winging punch by Simon that drew an ooh and an ah from the crowd, but it didn't land. Actually, he's not very active compared to what he was in the last 2 rounds, Simon Brown.
Under 30 seconds, round 6. I guess they had to take somewhat of a break after what happened in the previous round. Combination by Blocker, but Brown covering up.
Punch out, 2 hands, please. Come on, punch out.
Wild miss again by Brown as we head for the bell.
All right, 1 step back. Come on. Hey,
Coming up after this bout, 5-time world champion Julio Cesar Chavez making final preparations in his dressing room, getting set for the WBC Super Lightweight and IBF Junior Welterweight championships. He is an incredible 73-0, 60 knockouts. He'll face 5th-ranked John Super D. Duplessis, tough kid from the main streets of New Orleans. And there he is, another legend, Julio Cesar Chavez. 5 separate titles to his credit. Tremendous record. And he's done that in 3 separate weight classes.
No question the pound-for-pound best fighter in the world in my estimation. And he is a legend at the top of his form.
Meanwhile, round 7 of a scheduled 12-rounder. Action-packed. Maurice Blocker dictated the pace with some good boxing skills over the first couple of rounds, and Simon Brown came around and tried to lower the boom and end this with 1 punch. And a couple of rounds ago, we saw frenetic exchanges, very entertaining to the big crowd here at the Mirage.
Well, he took 3 rounds in a row, did Brown, and then all of a sudden, curiously, went to sleep this last round and let Blocker punch in bunches and tie him up, and technically he won that round. So you know what? We got an even fight. It's 56 to 56. If you weren't scoring, just looking at it, you'd say Simon Brown is just whooping up on Blocker. But if you scored him round by round, that last one belonged to Blocker. A lot of different punches, even though they're pity-pat, and then he ties them up. That was a good example. Just right there.
Brown in the black trunks, Blocker in the white. Brown mentions a possible future opponent someday for Julio Cesar Chavez, who we just saw getting ready for his fight next. Those punches not having much steam by Blocker.
But he's punching, and Simon's not. That was the history of the last round. Good right hand. Good, strong right hand, but one punch doesn't a round make. Simon's got to go back to that active style that he had for those middle 3 rounds there, 3, 4, and 5.
Midway.